So before you listen to this, I'm going to ask you to do something most people won't do. I want you to take a breath, put your shield down, take off your armor, and just listen with your ears and not your triggers. Because if you can understand this, it might change the way you see yourself and every relationship you've ever been in. So I'm going to go slow. Not all people pleasing is a problem. I'm going to say that again. Not all people pleasing is a problem. So instead of just saying people pleasing, I want to separate two things: people pleasing and appeasing people. And this is the question I want you to start asking yourself: am I people pleasing, or am I trying to appease people? So most people know fight, flight, freeze, but there's another response that hides in plain sight because it looks like kindness. It's called fawn. And fawn is a form of people pleasing, but not the healthy kind. Fawn is appeasing. So when your nervous system feels threatened, it doesn't ask for permission, it reacts. Fight tries to control, flight tries to escape, freeze tries to shut down. But fawn says, if I keep everyone safe, maybe I'll be okay. If I keep them happy, they won't leave. If I don't rock the boat, nothing bad will happen. So yes, this is people pleasing, but it's people pleasing driven by fear. This is appeasing people. So let me slow it down further. People pleasing is expression. It says I enjoy giving. It comes from overflow. It's choice in it. There's no pressure behind it. Appeasing people is regulation. It says I need to go this a certain way. It comes from pressure. It keeps score. Even if you never say it out loud, and it's not really about giving, it's about managing how they feel so you can feel okay. So the behavior can look the same on the outside, but the energy from the inside is completely different. And that's where resentment begins. Because eventually, a part of you will start saying, what about me? So now let me show you where this starts. If you grew up in an environment when you were a child or a long time ago, where your needs felt like a problem, you didn't learn how to connect, you learned how to manage people, you became the peacekeeper or the fixer or the one that says yes when you meant no, not because you're manipulative, but because it worked. It kept you feeling safe, but what kept you safe back then is what's costing you connection now. Because now as an adult, you don't enter relationships to be seen, you enter relationships to scan. Who's upset? Who needs something? Who might leave? Who might explode? And before anyone even asks, you're already adjusting to it. Shape-shifting, performing. That's not connection, that's surveillance. So there's something else that almost nobody talks about, and this is a trap. I see it all the time, where modern therapy is good at helping people recognize people-pleasing. It will tell you, know your worth, set boundaries, stand up for yourself, and none of that's wrong, but there's a part that rarely gets explained to them. Relationships are not one-way streets. If you've been in a relationship for a long time, you've built patterns. You've trained people on how to interact with you. So if you've been saying yes when you meant no for years, and then one day you come back with boundaries and clarity and a completely different energy, you're gonna get pushback immediately. Not always because people are bad, but because they're confused. They learned a different version of you, and now that version is gone. That's a shock to the system. There's actually a concept for this called system disruption. When one part of the system changes, the whole system reacts and tries to pull stuff back to what feels normal or familiar. So when you change, they react because the pattern changes. And the uncomfortable truth is we helped build that pattern. We always taught that the yes was always there, even if it wasn't real. So when you tell the truth now, it doesn't feel like truth to them. It feels like loss, like something was taken away. And I'm not saying don't change. I'm not saying don't set boundaries. I'm saying understand. You cannot turn the Titanic in an instant. If you want that relationship to continue, it's going to take effort to undo what's been done. Because what looked like free giving was never free. There was hidden conditions, unspoken expectations, unmet needs. So now you're not trying to change just behavior, you're trying to rebuild the whole dynamic. So if you're still with me, let me take you one layer deeper. People pleasing and high narcissistic tendencies are cut from the same cloth. One shrinks, one expands, but both are trying to control. Appeasing says I'll control the situation by making sure you're okay. Control says I'll control the situation by making sure that I'm in charge. One controls through submission, the other controls through dominance. But control is still control, and it's coming from the same place. Fear of being hurt, fear of being abandoned, fear of not being enough. And now you can start seeing why certain dynamics feel so familiar. Two people, same wound, different strategy. And for a moment it works until it doesn't. Until one feels invisible and the other feels resisted. And now the cycle begins. Push, pull, collapse, control, and both people walk away thinking the other person was the problem. Instead of seeing we were both running protection mechanisms. So when you can see this clearly, something really powerful happens. You stop collapsing into identity. You're not a people pleaser. You're not a controlling narcissist. These are patterns. They're not who you actually are. Who you are is the one noticing those parts. The part that wants to shrink, the part that wants to manage, the part that wants to feel safe. So the next time you're about to say yes, slow down for a second and say, who's talking? Is this the part of me that wants to give through people pleasing, or is this the part of me that wants to appease people through compensation? So something shifts when you notice that, because you're not the voice in your head. You are the one that hears that voice. You are not your nervous system. You are the one receiving that signal. You are the awareness. And if you forget that, you collapse into the voice and then become the pattern, and then just it's off to the races. The moment you can see it, you create space. And in that space, you get to choose not from fear, but from awareness. And that by itself is self-mastery. So if this hits you, don't label yourself, notice yourself, and start asking who's talking. And if you want to go deeper into this work, my book, Who's Talking, is on Amazon. There's a workbook that goes with it. The audiobook is also read by me. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can book through my website. I'll put it up here. And I'll be on tour in 2026. The next stop's Atlanta, Georgia, May 8th and 9th. So until then, remember that you're not the voice in your head. You are the one that hears it. Talk to you next time.